Brought to you by Penguin. Madame Matisse by Sophie Haydock. Read by Alix Dunmore. For Rosa. There are flowers everywhere, for those who want to see them. Henri Matisse, 1947. Ultimatum. Nice, 1939. Madame Matisse enters Lydia's room, the prongs of the fork sharp in her pocket. Everything is tidy, in its place, the spines of the books aligned just so. 3 pairs positioned along the windowsill at the most satisfying distance apart, all much as it was the last time she entered to look around. This woman has lived alongside Madame Matisse and her husband in Nice for the best part of a decade. But what, really, does Amelie know about the mysterious Lydia de Lekturskaya? Ever since that young woman joined their household back in the spring of 1932, Amelie has been relentless in her support of her. What was it that set Lydia apart from all the other girls? If Amelie's memory serves her, there was a compliment about her hand-embroidered shawl, the eagerness with which the young woman jumped to accept the challenging role when another failed to impress, and then the way she turned up clutching fresh flowers. No one had done that before. When Lydia first arrived, a strange 22-year-old foreigner, down on her luck, she'd been just another in a long line of girls hired to be helpful around the house, to support Amelie as her health deteriorated. Unobtrusive, efficient, sweet Lydia solved every problem without fuss or flapping. And what a pleasure it had been to find a helper who didn't talk back or take liberties. That was rare. Then, as time went on, Amelie had been impressed with the Siberians' resourcefulness, their initiative, their willingness to blend into their lives. Lydia had attended to Amelie, making her periods of confinement more bearable. Henri had barely noticed her those first years. He didn't want anyone interfering in his studio, and certainly didn't aspire to draw the girl. She wasn't his type. Amelie had assumed Lydia wouldn't be interested in a man old enough to be her father, and that her husband wouldn't form a bond with a woman a decade younger than his own daughter, Marguerite. The Matisses had treated all their girls well over the years, paying wages higher than was necessary, bending the rules to make sure they had some stability. They'd been kind. But now, Amelie can see it clearly. This woman has preyed on her good nature, taken advantage of Amelie's persistent ill health to infiltrate the fabric of their home, to make herself indispensable. Now Amelie sees her husband only at meal times, when they eat opposite each other in silence. He spends all his time with Lydia, getting up to who knows what. She has had enough. Amelie shuffles around the room, her cane knocking insistently on the floorboards. The air is damp, which seems out of character for a resort such as Nice, famous for its blazing summers, where sunbathers sizzle on the beachfront or loll in the sensuous sea. It has been a long time since Amelie indulged in any such pleasures herself. Her chronic illness, a bad back, and pains in her stomach, alongside slumps of inertia and hopelessness which have plagued her since the birth of her children, mean she must spend long swathes of time in bed. Amelie stops and listens carefully for footsteps. Her hearing isn't quite what it used to be, but her eyesight is as sharp as anything. When she's certain nobody's around, she props her stick against the wardrobe, stiffly kneels on the floor, then pulls a briefcase out from under Lydia's bed and places it on the eiderdown. Initials are embossed in the leather. N.D. She wonders about the previous owner. A lover, perhaps? A man from Lydia's past? Briefly, Amelie experiences guilt for encroaching on her employees' privacy in this way. Everyone has secrets, things they'd rather keep hidden, the worst sides of themselves, which never see the light. But Amelie shakes off the feeling. She needs to do this, needs to know once and for all what kind of woman.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?